So welcome back. I hope you had a lovely evening. We have Detective Rachel Smith still on the witness stand. We're going to re-swear her because we have a new court reporter today, and we are still on the direct examination, and we are still on the state's case in chief. Okay, state.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
If you could please be seated, state and spell your name for the record.
Rachel, R-A-C-H-E-L, Smith, S-M-I-T-H.
All right, good morning, Detective. Where we had left off yesterday, we were wrapping up with the video from 3166 South 39th Street. You had watched clips overnight from when they arrive at the house through the next morning, correct?
That is correct, yes.
And that was through what time did you watch through? The very end, the last clip.
The very end,
Yes.
It ends at approximately 10:55 a.m.
All right, and then when we were watching the clips from the nighttime, there was this white car that was in front of the house. Do you recall seeing that car?
I do, yes.
Were you able to discern from the video whether that car was affiliated with Maxwell Anderson's house or some other house?
We were able to watch the video from Channel 4, and we were able to observe that people come from a residence, I believe it's one residence north of Mr. Anderson's residence, and enter that vehicle.
Do they ever go to Mr. Anderson's residence?
They do not.
All right, I'm going to play a clip from Channel 4. It picks up at what time, Detective? And let's go real time.
Sure, it's 12:10 a.m.
And as a refresher, how much is this clock off on the video screen?
The clock is off about an hour.
Okay. What'd you see?
You see the headlights blink as if somebody is using a key fob to unlock the doors.
And now what are we seeing?
You're seeing movement coming from that residence that I believe is one north. And you're seeing people coming out of that residence and approaching that vehicle. Excuse me.
What do they all do?
I believe they all enter that vehicle.
All right. Does that vehicle remain there or does it leave?
It leaves.
Without ever interacting with Mr. Anderson's house?
That is correct.
Pausing it at 12 a.m. We had also discussed the movement you were seeing in the upper front window. Do you recall that conversation?
Yes.
When you were going through those video clips throughout the entire night, starting around the 9:20 p.m. hour when that light first goes on, were you distinguishing between what you could discern as human movement versus some other movement?
Yes, I attempted to do my best to distinguish any sort of human silhouettes or movement that was a little bit higher that would not be consistent with, let's say, a dog or any sort of movement that you're capturing from maybe blinds moving, curtains moving, plants in that area.
And there was a tree in front of the house, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Were you aware of whether Mr. Anderson had dogs?
Yes.
So the last human movement that you observed on the video from either the upper window or the side yard was at what time?
I was at 12:45 a.m.
I want to focus on about the 5:30 a.m. hour. Do you remember when we watched that clip of the person smoking a cigarette?
Yes.
And I'll bring it up here. This clip starts at what time, Detective?
It starts at 5:41 and 53 seconds.
Around that time and up into the 6 a.m. hour, 6:15, 6:30, do you ever see any movement in the side yard near Mr. Anderson's residence consistent with someone coming out of that door?
I do not.
Got this clip up now at what time here?
That's going to be 8:42 and 57 seconds a.m.
And which clip is this again?
This is going to be the clip where the person that was on the bus that we believe to be Maxwell Anderson arrived home.
You can see the tan backpack there?
That is correct.
So prior to this, that last clip where there's movement in the side at 12:45 a.m., when we watch those clips and you see human movement in that back area by that back gate, what about that motion light that we were seeing in the tree earlier on in the night?
Yes, in that last, I believe it's the last two clips actually, you do not observe that motion light come on during that time. So as I indicated, that it appeared as if that motion light was being tampered with because it did illuminate any other time that there was human movement in that side yard or towards the gate. Then in the last clip where we do observe human movement, we do not observe that light being illuminated. That's why we believed it was being tampered with.
I have it queued up to what time?
That's 12:42 and 48 seconds.
Okay. And as I fast forward through this clip, where do you see movement here?
Right now, you're seeing movement up in the upper window.
And then the very next clip, what time is this?
This is going to be 12:43 and 55 seconds.
I'm gonna speed that up. And do you see the gate moving?
Yes.
All right. Let me back it up and play.
And that's the gate moving, and you do observe that human movement, and there is no motion light illuminated in this video clip.
Does that motion light ever come back on throughout the night?
Not that I observed.
And then I'm gonna go to that last clip. What time is this?
This is going to be 10:54 and 46 seconds a.m.
On what date?
on April 2nd.
What are we seeing here? Hold on, let me zoom in.
Yep. I'm just going to stand up if that's okay.
Sure, let me get you a mic.
I've got it.
What's the status of that back gate?
The back gate is open at this time. And then right now you're observing that side door opening and somebody exiting that side door.
Does it appear that person manually closes the door?
Yes.
Okay, and where's that person going?
And that person is going through the back gate and they appear to be wearing a green hooded sweatshirt.
Not what the other person was wearing who came in the back gate, who you've said is Maxwell Anderson, right?
That is correct.
What do you mean by manually closing the door? I'll play it again here. If you can just describe what you're talking about
Sure.
and point it out as you're seeing it if you could.
So you're seeing the door swing open there, and then it appears as if they push the door to close it.
Rather than just letting it slam?
Correct.
Are you aware of whether Maxwell Anderson, what he did on the date of April 2nd?
Yes.
What do you do?
He went to work
Where?
at dugout 54.
And did you attempt at some point to go to dugout 54 to see if they had video from the date of April 2nd?
I did, yes.
Did you speak to the manager?
I did.
Was his name David Grycan?
It was.
And do you recall the date in which you went there?
I believe it was April 8th, but I don't know for sure.
It was several days after this, correct?
That is correct.
And were you able to obtain video from dugout 54?
No, there was no longer video.
What happened to it?
It had gone beyond the retention period.
Okay. Now, we had discussed the video from the alley. That was the first video you and I went through yesterday. It shows Sade's Honda Civic leaving the alley onto Euclid at what time?
At 12:47
How long
a.m.
after? How long after the last movement we see on the 3166 video would that have been?
About 2 minutes.
Okay. When we see those two blinking lights,
That is correct, yes.
and then 2 minutes later, the car is going out of the alley.
That is correct.
Did you attempt to get video from anywhere after that period to discern where that car traveled to?
Yes,
Did you find video that depicted her vehicle after it departed that alley?
I did, yes.
Can you describe what you did and what you found?
Sure. So the city has a program that's called Operation Impact, and there are cameras that business owners share with the Milwaukee Police Department that we are able to access via an app called High Connect. And because of the district that I formerly worked in, I was familiar with a camera that was on the intersection of 35th and Greenfield. And it was believed that Mr. Anderson traveled in that direction in.
I'm going to object to Mr. Anderson. He just asked about a Civic.
I'll sustain that objection, and Detective, I'd ask you to just to rephrase.
Sure. It was believed that the Honda Civic traveled in that direction. So I was able to go onto that app and access those cameras that are there. They're located at 3429 West Greenfield Avenue, and there are several different cameras on that business that I was able to view, and I was able to observe that Honda Civic traveling north on South 35th Street.
I'm going to pull up the map so you can describe what it is that why you were looking in a certain area. Zooming in here, why don't you orient us if you could? Stand up with the microphone, please.
So again, this is the area where Mr. Anderson's residence is on South 39th Street, and this is the alley that we last observed the vehicle traveling. It was going south in the alley and then west on Euclid. The most natural, I guess, way or the most thoroughfare is going to be South 43rd Street here. And then I believe based on phone records, we believe that the vehicle actually traveled down Forest Home here, and then it went north on South 35th Street, and that is why we looked in those areas.
So you had shared with you certain location information about Sade's phone, right?
That is correct.
And that led you to believe that her phone was traveling on 35th Street?
That is correct.
So your specific focus on 35th Street wasn't just a random guess. It was based on information developed in the investigation?
Objection
Correct.
leading.
Sustained.
Okay. Well, I'll move on. And then why don't you tell us where this camera is located in relation to Mr. Anderson's home?
So the home is, sorry, I lost track of where we were here.
I zoomed out on you, I'm
Yep.
sorry.
So the home is going to be in this area right here. And then the location of that camera is, you're gonna have to come down a little bit. Right here on 35th and Greenfield.
Okay. I'm going to show you what I have on a disc marked as Exhibit 207. And as that's loading, what time period did you capture this video from?
I started watching at 12:45 a.m. because we knew that the last movement of the Honda Civic from the area of Mr. Anderson's home was at 12:47 a.m. So I watched from 12:45, and I was able to find the vehicle on these cameras at approximately 12:53 a.m. on the 2nd.
right, I'm going to bring up the video file. It's a long title. The first one is identified as camera 3. Let me get off the Zoom here. All right, is this the the footage that you captured?
It is, yes.
What intersection is this?
So this is going to be 35th and Greenfield. This is South 35th Street. And the camera, you can see that the camera is pointing in a southwest direction. This is going to be West Greenfield Avenue.
Can I get an exhibit number on this, please? I'm sorry.
207. I'm gonna move 207 into evidence.
Any objection?
No.
It's received.
Gonna play this clip, however, I'm gonna advance it to 44 seconds. And before I play, what real time are we looking at here?
We're looking at 12:53 and 39 seconds.
Are you familiar with whether or not this would cover the approximate time it would take for the vehicle to drive from the alley onto Euclid to this intersection?
I am, yes. Again, we did a Google Maps, simulation of how far it would be. It's approximately 2.6 miles from the residence to this intersection, and it estimated approximately 7 minutes.
Playing at 12:53 and 39 seconds a.m. And that's not the vehicle there?
Correct.
Okay. I'm sorry, I need to go back. I'm playing it from the beginning. So this is 12:52:58.
Correct.
What do you see?
This is the Honda Civic that we believe to be Miss Robinson's vehicle.
And what do you notice about the windows, if anything?
So they appear to be fogged up or a heavy condensation on the windows.
And what direction does the vehicle travel after going through that intersection?
The vehicle continues north on South 35th Street.
Okay. I want to back it up and ask you which windows are you noticing this condensation on?
The windows that are visible in this clip or this view, I see that the windshield and both passenger windows, as well as you can kind of observe it on the back window.
The front passenger mirror, does that look normal?
It does, yes.
Okay, not broken.
Correct.
And then I'm going to play camera 1. Advance it to 20 seconds. Before I play it, we're just looking where now?
So this angle, this camera is actually going to be on the north side of the building. This camera is facing in a west direction. So this is going to be West Greenfield here, and this is South 35th Street here.
Playing from 20 seconds at 12:53:20 a.m. What do you see?
You're observing that Honda Civic approaching the intersection and stopping.
As we zoom in, are you able to observe the windows in this clip as well?
Yes, they are. They also appear to be condensation or a fogging on the windows.
what's happening now?
In this view, the vehicle is continuing north on South 35th Street, and that's where you're able to observe those distinct taillights, that reverse see distinct taillight that the vehicle had.
Paused it at 53 seconds. All right, okay, thank you, Detective. You can have a seat. I have no further questions.
Cross?
Good morning.
Good morning.
So can I start by asking you on the videos that you got from across the street, the 3166, that's across the street from Max's house, right?
That is correct.
And the way you got those videos was to literally go knock on the door and speak to the homeowner,
Correct.
Lydia Flores.
That is correct, yes.
Okay. And Ms. Flores, you would agree with me, was not particularly familiar with the intricacies of her camera system.
That is correct, yes.
Because I think what I heard you say before was she wasn't sure how it was set up or anything of that nature.
Correct.
And what day did you go to her house?
And that was Sunday, April 7th.
Now, you know Max was arrested on April 4th, right?
That is correct.
So it was 3 days after he was arrested, you went to Ms. Flores' house.
Correct.
So at least as of April 7th, she still had video going all the way back to April 1st.
Correct.
How much further back than that did the video go?
I don't recall.
But it was for sure at least April 1st, and you sort of zeroed in on that because you had a timeline already in your knowledge at that point, right?
That is correct, yes.
And you didn't know what you were going to find when you went to this house and asked about the system, obviously, right?
We did not.
And obviously, you also looked at video from the alley, whether there was video in the alley as well?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. So you go to the house, she gives you access to the system, and you download what you choose to download,
That is correct.
which was what set of data? In other words, the dates that you chose to download.
Sure, we chose to download at that time, based on the knowledge that we had, we downloaded from 9 p.m. on April 1st, 2024, to 11 a.m. on April 2nd, 2024.
Okay. And so then anything after 11 a.m. on April 2nd is gone.
That is correct.
You've never gone back to ask her for additional footage after 11 a.m. on April 2nd, have you?
We did not.
How long have you been a detective for?
I've been a detective approximately 4 years.
Going on 4 years?
That is correct.
So 3 years and some number of months.
I was promoted in October of 2020. So actually, I'm over 4 years, going
Okay.
into my fifth.
And then before you were a detective, what type of officer were you?
I was a patrol officer in District 2.
How did it come to be that you were assigned this particular task?
At our daily briefing, tasks just get assigned, and I was familiar with the South Side area, so I chose to go look for the video over there.
Okay, because you knew the neighborhood, for example.
That is correct.
All right. And I think you talked about Max getting off a bus and going home. The route that he walked was the normal route to walk home, right?
We believe it was, yes.
You don't know the exact streets necessarily because there may not be video of every street, but he went west to his house, right?
The most logical route, yes.
Okay, and it sort of matches up with the times of when you can see the video of him coming home, right?
That is correct.
Because have you yourself actually walked that route to roughly check it?
I have, yes.
Okay, and you can see when he comes home, he obviously has his backpack on, right?
Correct.
So the backpack hasn't been disposed of.
That is correct.
What's in the backpack?
I don't know.
He has his jacket on, you saw that, right?
Correct.
And the jacket has not been disposed of either,
I'm not aware.
okay? You can see the video that he has it on, right?
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. Yes, when he is in the video, yes, the jacket is still on his persons.
Right, gets off the bus, backpack and jacket on, comes home. When he gets off the bus and comes home, it's the same clothes on, right?
That is correct.
And nothing's been tossed in the garbage can, right?
Correct.
And you don't see any video of anything like that happening.
That is correct.
Now, the videos, the camera system actually, as we were watching a bunch of clips yesterday, we're not going to do that today. Let's go straight down sort of the walkway down the side of Max's house, right?
That is correct.
And you said that you got this assignment because you're familiar with the area, so either it was told to you or you decided you'll go knock on doors and see what videos you can collect.
Correct.
It wasn't given to you because you are the department's video expert, for example, right?
That is correct.
Not that you have any specialized training in how to interpret videos, right?
Correct.
You have no such training.
That is correct.
Your training's no different than any member of the juror or any other person of the public in terms of interpreting videos.
Correct.
And you would agree that the system Ms. Flores provided to you, I thought what I heard you say yesterday was that it was a continuous system. That's what she had thought.
Correct.
But it turns out it wasn't set up as a continuous system,
Correct.
meaning that there are significant gaps
Yes.
between clips, right?
That is correct.
We could see on the screen hundreds, I believe, probably hundreds of clips, right?
Correct.
There's no rhyme or reason why it picks up one portion of a day or not a portion of a day, right?
Correct.
And that's different than some camera systems where you can make sense of why it picks up at a certain time, right?
That is correct.
So what you're left with is footage as it exists with significant gaps throughout the footage, right?
Correct.
And we don't know whatsoever, obviously, during those gaps what happens.
That is correct.
Now, where's the microphone, Jay? You still using the microphone?
I think the one right next to it.
Testing 1, 2. I'm going to show you exhibits 316 and 317, okay?
Okay.
And Ian, could you take down the video?
Do you want it on the Elmo?
Yeah, please. Do you see those exhibits?
I do, yes.
And those have been previously admitted into evidence. Do you recognize these?
This is the first time I'm viewing them.
Okay.
Well, I viewed one yesterday, I apologize, but yes.
You recognize that as what?
This is the inside of Mr. Anderson's residence.
Okay. Meaning, and Judge, okay if I publish exhibits that have been admitted, right?
What numbers are they again?
316, 317.
Yes, go ahead.
And so,
And they have been already admitted, yes.
okay, so again, exhibit 316, before I ask you about this exhibit, you would agree that yesterday you were looking at what you believe to be silhouettes and drawing some conclusions based on that, right?
Correct.
And you are, as you've said, have no expert training in such a field, right?
That is correct.
You're not offering that as a scientific assessment or analysis, right?
I am not.
And you would agree that exhibit 316, which you just identified, is a picture of the interior of Max's upstairs.
Correct.
I should just say Max's residence that he lived in, right?
Correct.
And what we have here is on the right side, a couch, and on the left side, a circular chair, right?
Correct.
And then a table directly in front of that window, right?
That is correct.
And then plants hanging all over the place.
Correct.
At least 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know. Can you estimate how many plants are hanging in front of the window? Give it a count if you want.
I would say it appears as if 4 are hanging in the window, and then there are some on the table, at the table level.
Yeah, it looks like at least on the right side, some sort of a tree, and then on the left side, maybe a shrub as well.
That is correct.
All of which are sort of in front of that front window, right?
Correct.
And then there's I don't know if I covered this, there's also a credenza, an end table of some sort right up against the window.
That is correct.
That would not be, other than the chair on the left side by that window, one would not sit one would not imagine that they sit on that credenza thing, right?
That is correct.
It doesn't look like it's designed for people to hang out on.
No.
And in terms of room to get around, So then with Exhibit 317, that's just, what is that?
It's just a closer up view, it appears.
Of the clutter?
Yes,
And it's really sort of, the blinds are off to the side. It appears that there's, at least on top of the credenza, maybe 8 or 9 additional plants on top of there as well.
correct.
And the quality of the videos that you have looked at are extraordinarily poor,
That is correct.
as opposed to other video of better quality, such as bus footage, where you can clearly see faces and gender, right?
That is correct, yes.
Now, why wouldn't you, since you made a decision to get the footage through 11 a.m. on April 2nd, why wouldn't you get footage from April 3rd and April 4th, up to the day that Max was arrested?
At that time, that was the only footage that we deemed that was the most valuable.
Okay, so that's your thought at the time, but now looking back on it, it would obviously be helpful to have additional footage, right?
Correct,
But that's been lost to time.
correct,
It is important to be thorough, though, isn't it?
correct.
Especially on an intentional homicide case.
That is correct.
Now, another question I wanted to ask you is this. When you get these videos, obviously they're in electronic form, right?
That is correct, yes.
And you can, as you said yesterday, you can spend whatever hours you want looking at them and drawing whatever conclusions, right?
Correct,
And you've testified, obviously, Mr. Anderson had dogs.
correct,
We know Sade, or we believe Sade went to his house with him, right?
correct,
You've seen the video, they leave Dukes together and get in a vehicle, right?
correct.
None of this is new information to you. You've been able to, you know the case, right?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. And so there's nothing on, to be clear, any of the videos that you've watched that ever shows Max Anderson driving Sade's car.
That is correct.
Even the ones you just testified to this morning where you had said Max, in fact, all you can determine is that a Honda Civic left Max's house.
That is correct,
You can't say that Max actually drove that car.
correct,
Okay. And when you talked about a light blinking twice, consistent with a key fob being pushed, you have no opinion whether that's Sade clicking a key fob or Mr. Anderson clicking that,
correct,
or some other person.
correct,
Because what we saw in the video, although it's not good quality, is the gate opening and closing, right?
that is correct, yes.
And for sure, we could see a gate opening and closing at times when there's no human movement out there,
Correct,
which to you, maybe it's wind, or maybe you don't see the person.
correct.
And we don't know, do you know whether there's people lurking in that alley? Can you see in that alley?
We cannot,
Or behind the garage?
correct, we cannot see that,
Certainly alleys can be a dangerous spot,
correct,
dark areas late at night.
correct,
Now, you do as a detective, you can use your eyes to watch things, but you also have a crime lab, right?
correct,
And what a crime lab can do is provide additional services to you to help interpret video evidence, right?
correct,
There's access to FBI crime labs, and there's also local crime labs here in Milwaukee, right?
that is correct,
And in fact, this is even the type of case, because of the nature of it, where FBI assistance was asked for and provided, actually.
correct.
Did you ever ask the FBI to do any video analysis in this case?
We did not.
I just want to know if you did.
I did not, I apologize.
And did you ever ask the state crime lab, did you ever ask the state crime lab to do any video analysis?
I personally did not know.
What would be important? Well, you were asked questions yesterday about height. Remember that?
Correct,
Whether a silhouette appears to be the same height as the fence or not the same height as the fence.
correct.
Did you ever ask, you do know that the state crime lab in Milwaukee can provide a height analysis?
I was not aware that was one of the features specifically, but it wouldn't surprise me.
You didn't know that they can do that?
I did not.
Therefore, you never asked them to do a height analysis
That is correct.
because you didn't know they could.
Correct.
So, well, since you played such an important role in viewing video evidence, did you ever receive any report from the crime lab? Did you ever receive any report from the crime lab attempting to analyze the video footage?
I did not.
As you sit here today, did you ever review such a report?
I did not.
Are you aware that such a report exists?
I am not.
You've never been told that.
Correct.
Would it be helpful for you if you were to learn, okay, if you were to learn that the state crime lab looked at this footage, looked at clips, okay, and that they were specifically asked to do a comparative height analysis?
I'm going to object. It's assuming facts, not in evidence, and asking her to speculate.
I'm allowed to ask hypotheticals. She's spoken about the footage.
She indicated that she's unaware of whether or not the crime lab has the ability to do this. You indicated in your questioning you believed it was possible, but she's indicated she doesn't even know if it's a possibility. So based on that, I think I'm going to sustain the state's objection.
Okay.
Next question.
We can come back to that if it's appropriate, okay?
Okay.
Now, the movement that you've talked about yesterday, silhouettes and things like that, you've offered an opinion, but again, not a scientific opinion, just your lay opinion, right?
That is correct, yes.
That sometimes you think it's human and sometimes you don't think it's human, right?
Correct.
But you don't know whether it's really a dog that jumps up, it might be a big dog, or it's a human, right?
That is correct.
And clearly, obviously, we've established there were dogs in the house, right?
Correct.
And no special software was used. Did you use any special software that provides you the ability to do something with the footage that we didn't see here in court?
I did not, no.
Dugout 54 is I believe you said a bar here in Milwaukee.
Correct.
You went there.
Correct.
When did you go there?
I believe it was April 8th.
No footage anymore, right?
Correct.
It was gone?
Correct.
But regardless of whether there's footage or not, you spoke to the owner, David Grykan, you said, right?
Correct.
And Mr. Grykan confirmed Max showed up to work on April 2nd,
He did, yes.
worked his shift,
Correct.
which is an important day in Milwaukee in particular because it's opening day, right?
That is correct, yes.
And Dugout 54 is right by the stadium
Correct.
with foot traffic galore walking to the stadium and the bars, right?
Correct.
And you were able to confirm with Mr. Grykan that on April 2nd, Max Anderson showed up to work at what time?
I believe it was 11:12 a.m.
Is that in what we do, and we do have footage, right? Or do we have footage in your review of what you believe to be Max leaving his house to go to work?
That is correct, yes.
Is that when we saw the green jacket, is that what you were offering the opinion that that's Max?
Correct.
So you can see him going to work.
Correct.
And clearly he's not carrying a backpack,
Correct.
nor is he appear to be running from the home, right?
Correct.
So whatever backpack was being worn, presumably is in the house, right?
Correct.
You never saw it get disposed of.
I did not, no.
Same with the jacket.
I did not.
And Max goes to work at 11:12
Correct.
and works, and then opening day is noon or 1, right?
I believe so, yes. I don't know the exact time.
Okay, but he works through his shift,
Correct.
normal.
Correct.
And then we don't have any footage of him coming home or any activities after that because you ended at 11 a.m.
That is correct.
That's all.
State?
At the time he would have left to go to work, that would have been, that was shortly prior to 11 a.m. on the 2nd, right?
That is correct.
And so then he arrives at work at 11:12, right?
Correct.
At that time, was your unit even aware that Sade Robinson was missing? On April 2nd?
On April 2nd, I don't know what time the missing was reported.
Her leg hadn't even been found yet, right?
Correct.
Okay. And you know, or knew at the time that you got that video from 3166 that Sade was deceased by April 2nd.
Correct.
And does that play a role in why you were focused in on that time period?
Yes.
What were you looking for?
We were looking for the movements, who was coming and going at that time.
And how many hours have you spent combing through that video?
Asked and answered.
I think it's for clarification. You're able to answer it.
As I indicated yesterday, close to 100 hours.
Have you ever used the crime lab's imaging unit or whatever it is called?
I personally have not, no.
Okay. Nothing else?
Thank you. And
I'm sorry, did you say nothing further? I didn't hear you.
I did.
Okay, go ahead.
thank you. In the close to the 100 hours of time you've spent watching that footage, you never once see somebody being strangled, right?
Correct.
Or stabbed.
Correct.
That's all.
State?
Nothing.
Thank you, Detective Smith.
Thank you.